There's this one little habit which will speed up your workflow so much and make your production so much easier. So let me explain, and it's quite simple. Because whenever you finish a track, this track is the best you can give. Okay, so you may be not agreeing with me on every track, so maybe you have a track which is better and which worse, but it doesn't really matter, you know? In this specific track, which you're currently finished, you did the best you can do, because if you didn't, then probably you would have changed it. So let's say you made the best melodies you could put in there, because otherwise you would have changed the notes. You made the best rhythms, because otherwise you may have changed the positions where the rhythms play, and you made the best mix and the best kick and bass and drums and everything you could give. So this is like the cream de la cream of your current status. And at the given moment is a very important point, because your production will improve big time over the years. And so it depends on how many hours you put in, if you find like the right coaches and mentors which guide you, or if you do like a lot of trial and error and not producing a lot of music. But it doesn't really matter, because this technique, we can adapt to this problem, and I will show you in a second how. But let me now explain how it works. You have finished your track and now everything is done, but there's something more you can do which will improve your workflow, your own learning experience, and make your work faster and better in the future. And it's really simple. It's basically going and sifting through your whole project. And I do this from top to down. I already did this a bit in this project. I listened to all the sounds, to all the tracks I put in here, like whole tracks, like melodies, pads, FMs, like all the major things we could say, which is coming more than once in the track. And I just listened to them in context and one time in solo. And if I think it's a cool element I want to keep and may use it in the future, then I will store it into my user libraries. So for example, this one here, I will take over and I have these categories here. So lead, pads, leads, FX, and FM, and you can add more if you want, like sample and hold and asset and whatever you're kind of like is for you the best thing to remember where the sounds are in you're looking for. And then I just drag this over. So for example, that one I would put into the pads category, and it doesn't really matter. Sometimes I have like twice from like different tracks, because I like the sound so much that I'm using it more often. It actually shows you also how often you already use this. And then you have different applications or different keys. And if you're really fancy, then you can also put the key in here. So you could also say this was in B, because not every preset works, in my opinion, in every key so well. And also you will need to transpose it into a project. So this could be also like a little improvement, which I probably will add here in the future as well, and did with the last tracks I put in here. But I would also save it in here, so that whenever you open the next time your presets here, that you find the preset more easy, or like the good presets more easy. So depending on the synths, you have to add the favorites a little bit different. But I think it's pretty cool, because then you condense everything and you only have your favorites. And I think this approach is way better than going to a bank initially and selecting the favorites, because there are some sounds which sound cool alone, but then when you combine them with others, they get like troublesome. They may be hard to mix. They may be very thin and don't really poke out of the mix. And by doing this after you created a project, you are making sure that you only integrate the good stuff. And so I think that's a really, really important game changer for your production, because then in the future, if you're running out of ideas and you need a new preset, then you can either go into the bank and just have your favorites there, which you actually use in other tracks, or you can go here into your user library and have them ready mixed with automations and stuff on. So some songs, for example, some pads may only sound cool if you gate them, and then you have the gate plugin already in, which you don't have if you just open the preset, and you have the right mix and everything. So you can really go very easy and very fast creative. And yes, maybe you have the question now in your mind, doesn't everything then sound the same? Of course not, because you can choose new presets, so you could start the track with new presets, and then once you run out of ideas, then you bring in the presets. Or let's say you make a brainstorm for your project where you create like half of the sounds, and then the other half you take from sounds you already have, and this makes your tracks even more consistent, so you kind of like get a bit of like a signature sound maybe into into it because all your tracks have overlapping elements. So I think that's a really, really nice technique. And there's one more thing which I won't show in detail here in this tutorial, but it's something I planned a while already, is that I'm taking like all these leads, for example here, move them into a new project and then analyze them. And you can always obviously also do this in your current project. So once you have finished it, you can go over all the melodies and check which intervals did you use, how did you combine melodies with other elements, which rhythms did you use in your FM leads, because there's a lot of experimentation in our project. And for me at least, it's like this. I fail like 20 times. I fail with like 20 bad melodies until I get like a really good melody. And if I can shortcut this process and maybe only fail like 10 melodies because I already know which intervals I like and which intervals work in the scales I'm using, then this is like a really hardcore shortcut for your production. So I hope this very little and tiny organizational workflow tutorial helped you to improve the quality of your tracks. And if you want to learn how to make complete tracks from A to Z, so everything which brought me into Darkrow, Digital Ohm, and soon Sacred Technology, I'm offering a new course in which I teach everything in detail, like in my YouTube videos, but it's way better quality because for the YouTube videos I have a little bit less time, but this course is like really big time. I invested like dozens of hours into this and show really how to make a full track, so a track which I will release later. So it's not just like a dummy or something, it's a really cool track, and you will see everything how it's created, basically from the kick and bass, the drums, the leads, the arrangement, the mixing, and also how to do the cover art and promotion. So all this is in my new course, and if you really want to level up and invest into your music career, then I would suggest that you at least have a look at it, because there's some free lectures which show you the style. It's kind of like the preparation module and the first kick and bass. And if you wanna join, then I'm happy to see you there in my course and to level up your music production and make you release ready. And if you want to know how to make a good arrangement so that you can finish your tracks, I have a video up here which will help you to improve your arrangement, which you can watch now, and see you in the next video.